I'm Chris Ostoich. I'm founder and CEO of BlackbookHR. I took a class in college, granted that feels like a long time ago now, but I took a class in school called Money, Work, and the American Dream. And at the time, being in my 20s, it was I don't know, I had a very romantic view of what the American dream meant. And ultimately, I think at that time, what it meant to me was money. And if there's anything that I would say about the dream, is that today my perspective on that has changed dramatically. When you start a company out of the basement, you sell all your worldly belongings, you in fact maybe lose all of your worldly belongings in some cases. And all of a sudden, you're not, when you realize that you're not doing something as a pursuit of financial stability or success, then all of a sudden this world of stuff opens up to you. So for me, the ability to be passionate about something and then commit to that thing and be relentless about following it is ultimately what the dream is about for me. So to rewind a little bit, in 2008, I guess, when I was busy being thrown out of every venture capitalist's office in the city with my stupid idea for this company, one of the things that happened in that process is that I was able to build a network of people that really meant something to me, that helped guide me on my journey through this dream. And without those people, I wouldn't have succeeded, and I certainly wouldn't be sitting here in front of two cameras today. You can't do this alone. You just can't. It's too hard. It's terrible. It's awful. And then at the same time, simultaneously, it is the most beautiful and enlightening and powerful experience that you could ever imagine. It's a really, really amazing thing. I find it sort of ironic at times that my company, the company that I run, is dedicated and is designed to help companies retain their best people. But I do have a sort of a personal mission to help people start their own companies and quit jobs. To sort of go on the same journey, or to follow the same dream that I did. So far, I'm at about 12 of my close colleagues and friends that sort of watch them create their own ventures. So this is I'm sure it's built in me, but at the same time, I go back to when I started this company, that I'm a result of the support of the people around me. So I give that back whenever I can. So. No, absolutely not. Not even close. I think 5, 7, 8, 10 years ago, when I thought, gosh, when we have 25 customers and we have a cool office and I have a nice car, or when I have enough money to pay bills and not worry about it, that I'll be happy, or that stuff, like the accumulation of stuff, leads to happiness. That is nonsense. And that's something that I have learned the hard way, is that it's absolutely not the things you accumulate, it's the sort of journey along the way. So it's not the stuff that you actually gather, but the things you actually learn. At least for me, that's been the most powerful part of this adventure, is that the job has literally, I know no better teacher than the job itself. So, yeah, so no, I have a lot to do. And I have big, big, big aspirations. Part of what I mentioned before about like being very deliberate about what you're actually doing and why. I like to say this, and I try really hard to make sure that I live by that, but that most of the things that I do with a purpose. I have a reason for almost anything. So sort of as an early stage person or somebody thinking about, following that dream, that I will tell you that it is not easy. It's the hardest thing that you can do, ever. There's so much romance around startups and entrepreneurship, and it's a tough adventure. One of my pieces of advice is just, you need to be really comfortable with falling on your face. And it's not, once you do it a few times, it's really not as scary or as bad as anybody will have you feel that it is. Failure is not such a bad thing. In fact, if you fail forward, you're going to accomplish really, really great things. So be prepared for a tough journey. Know that the job is the best teacher you're ever going to find. And then just know that everybody sucks in the beginning. And if you can stick with it, you'll get better. When you have, and you can sort of start to put your hands around that dream, just appreciate it. Figure out a way to appreciate it. That's one of the things that I haven't been able to do. I'd also probably argue that that's what keeps me hungry, but that's something that I'm sort of on a search for, is how do I really learn to appreciate the fact that the sort of struggle has led me to a pretty bright place.